Hello and welcome along to our new podcast. It's the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set. David Shortte Shayne Williams with you on this Friday. Welcome along, train.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Shorty. Straight off the train, into the plane, jet setting into the Tab Radio studios.
Toot toot. Very nice to have you on board. Plenty to look forward to on our opening edition today. We'll get into what's caught your eye. Then we'll get into the market movers for tonight's meeting at Mandurah. Our best plays for tonight, Wentworth Park. Jaycin Campbell, he'll join us each and every week here on the podcast. We'll get his key plays for Wenty on Saturday night. Then across to the Meadows. No Corey Smith with us today, but he will be joining us long-term next week. He will make his debut here on the Jet Set. Then into Cannington Saturday night and our local industry VIP of the week. This week we're catching up with Kody Charles, of course, the trainer of Sage to Neil. And then we're into the Kennel Mail. We've got Damien and also Graham Credelli of Handball. Their Kennel Mail for this week. Lukey Townsend has also passed on the best from the House Kennel, our leftovers best, the best roughie of the weekend, the best quaddies of the weekend around the ground, the best novelty plays, the very best of the weekend. And we'll round it out with our shout-outs and a bit of a laugh to round out the show for today. That's all over the next hour right here on the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set. Starting off, though, with what's caught your eye. Train, what's caught your eye over the last week?
Yeah, I think the runner Palawa King at the Meadows, Shorty, obviously everyone's seen it. It's not new to us. We know this dog has a big engine and can perform runs like that. But, it made a bit of mainstream media, I think, didn't it?
It was huge, yeah. We had a chat yesterday on Great Grace to Neil Brown, and Brown, he's seen plenty of chasing in his time, but he pretty much declared the run of the year's wrapped up. So nice and early with a few months still to go, but it's going to take a mighty run to knock off Palawa King, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the call by Dan Hibbert as well made it even more better. And, certainly he's going to be hard to beat in that final this week, Shorty.
Yeah, it will be. We're getting back and charging home again. The King, what caught my eye, I'm just fresh off a break in Bali with a family, and what caught my eye was so many pubs over there now, Shano, that have got Sky Channel on and all the AFL and NRL. So when you're on holidays now, having a quiet drink and a bit of a feed, there's lots of action you still follow on the Sky and the footy and the NRL, and they're well catered for the Aussie traveller, that is for sure and certain. Yeah,
absolutely. And that bill at the end of the lunch is a bit cheaper as well over there, Shorty.
It can be. It can also be a bit more expensive if you're not quite getting it right. But fortunately, we had a bit of luck over there, and it was a very enjoyable break. I've come back refreshed and looking forward to getting into this new podcast with your good self and our team over the next little patch. Let's rip straight into it, though. Tonight, we've got chasing down there at Mandurah, and we'll talk you through the TABtouch market movers for tonight's program, kicking off in race number 1 tonight. And here, from a fixed odds perspective, it is a pretty open affair. Red Neg Gundy, our $3.10 favourite, opened up at $3.80, got as big as $4.40, so support's been good here for the check runner. Fennec Fox, $5.50 into $4. Money at odds for West on Libby, 10 into $6. And 13 into 11 for Bracton. So punters have certainly spread the money around there in race number 1 tonight at Mandurah. In the second, odds on favourite here with West on Tilly. Comes up with the inside draw, opened $1.90, as big as $2.05, still at that $1.95 quote. Good support for one you like here, Train Luxio Wave. It's been 6 into $3.70. Outside of those, all other runners are on the drift except for San Cruiser, who's 8 into $7.50. To race number 3 on the program, and Taming the Tiger's been pretty popular here. Opened up at $3 into $2.80. Outside of it, not much else to report other than Mary Samsonite, $7.50 to $6.50 in the outsider of the field, found the break, 17 into 12. Race number 4, novice grade 5 over the 488 metres. West on Madge, our favourite at $2.15. Opened at $2, so it's been easy to back. Support there for Drifter, 5 into $4.60. And 7 into $5.50 for Whole Shot. Glasgow Boy, one of the outsiders, 21 to 16. And Go Seek Isla, 26 into $20. Race number 5, first leg of the quaddie tonight. Sunset Hornet, very trim at the head of the market, $1.55 into $1.50. Sunset Nightjar, 8 into $5.50, seen some good support. Bungee Man off the pink, 10 into 9. And that is all to report out of the 5th. Race number 6 tonight, all over Karja. Current favourite in an open betting affair, $3.70 into $3.30. Sunset Tyson, $3.70 to $3.60. Lip Tricks has been well supported off the inside, 7 into $4.40. and all the other runners on the outer. To race number 7, this is another of the Shorts heats. Crumble Manelli heads up betting at $3.50, open $4, as big as $4.20, now into that $3.50 price range. Outside of those, what a ripper, 5 into $4.80, 8 into 7 for Terra County, and that is all there in the 7th. Final leg of the quaddie race 8, All About Rock, our $3.60 favourite. Another very open market here, $2.80 out to that quote. Dark Lightning, 6 into $3.70 and 8 into $5.50 for Crooked Kelly. 12 to $8.50 for West on Outlaws. Seen some support to race number 9 on the card. Jimmy's Jet, $2.15, up in grade here, taking on some good opposition. It's been easy from that even money quote. $4.80 to $4.20 Brain Teaser. 10 to $5.50 for Solid Tank. Race number 10 on the card, and it's West on Smoky, the $3 favourite. Another very open betting affair. Out from $2.10, 4 to $3.60, Don't Tell Dasher. Kentish Lass, 7 to $3.90, seen some support. And in the last race, number 11 tonight, it's Mortality, the $1.65 favourite, very popular, opened at $1.50, got as big as $1.75, crunched back into that $1.65 quote. 8 into 6 for West on Odie. They're the market movers for tonight. They're at Mandurah Train. Let's get your thoughts on the program. Who are your better bets?
Yeah, going to kick it off early, Shorty. Race 2, number 2, Luxio Wave. This is a dog we've seen have a little bit of support. Just doing the replays on this dog, he does like to find the line really well. And on the run-home times from last week, its run-home time was a lot better than the favourite in the one box. So I thought could track up nicely behind the one and be too strong for it late. But the 6-dog field here, Shorty, is going to allow us to have a good dividend for the play. So we can play top 2 there, Luxio Wave, in race 2.
All right, second of your plays?
Second on my plays, Shorty. I'm just going to go over to...
race 5?
Yeah, race 5. Number 4, this dog's first up for 7 weeks, Shorty. It's got a big engine and it's nice and fresh for this. Now, it has to begin to beat the one. The one's obviously very short, Sunset Hornet. And I just really like this dog, Shorty. I've always liked it, and it's got a big engine. If it gets to start right tonight, we need it to, can cross the one and be hard to beat. There was a bit of $11 floating around before, but that's long gone. So trimmed right up in the market. So obviously someone else likes it as well.
Indeed. And the third of your plays, we have to wait until late.
Yeah, this is the very best of mine, Shorty, tonight. Race 11, number 1, Mortality. Third up now in WA, a former Victorian Raider. Very good last start, Shorty. As you've seen, found plenty of checks in the run. I even went in the air at one stage and I thought the show was over, but still got the job done. I think this dog's going to be a very handy acquisition to WA and Labor Stewart Kennel. I think when we see it get up in a bit of distance, it's going to be something special, Shorty. So, yeah, recap race 2, number 2, race 5, number 4, and the very best race 11, number 1 for me at Mandurah tonight.
All right, we heard earlier this morning on, of course, Chasing Winners. Ryan Levitsky joined us. His key plays tonight. Race 1, number 1, Fennec Fox. Race 10, number 1, Kentish Lass. Race 11, number 1, Mortality. So they're the 3 key plays for Ryan. Jesse, race 3, number 4, Taming the Tiger. Race 4, number 8, West on Madge. Race 10, number 2, West on Smoky. For me, I'll start my specials with race 3, number 4, Taming the Tiger. Excellent record, track and trip. 5 starts, 3 wins and a second. The dog, with a vacant box in 5, should just get that little bit of room early to muster into a spot. Will be really strong late. Just needs a clear look to be all over the top. Race 3, number 4, Taming the Tiger. Race 7, number 5, Wise Barra. Having its first run here over the 400 metres, but a greyhound that's run some tremendous races against high-quality opposition over the longer distance. It's led at 6 of its last 9 starts over that longer trip, so it's capable of matching these speedsters, holding a spot, and from there, mid to wide's ideal. Wise Barra can be swooping them late. Race 7, number 5. And with you in the last, race 11, number 1, Mortality. This greyhound arrived in WA with some hot form to its credit. There was a 29.88 win there at the Meadows. It's gone quick time at Sandown, in great hands with Paul Stewart. You'd think it'd improve immensely for that look last week, and as you alluded to, a lesser dog would have probably run a good 4th or 5th, but Mortality still had the audacity to get up and get the cash. So 3 plays for me tonight there at Mandurah. Race 3, number 4, Taming the Tiger. Race 7, number 5, Wise Barra. And race 11, number 1, Mortality. Shano, it is now time to welcome into the program a regular special guest that will be joining us each and every week here on the Jet Set. Very talented young man doing excellent things in promoting the sport. He's been doing a pile of work with the Wolfton set, which has got a very big following across there on the east coast of Australia. And, of course, listeners to Great Greys would also be familiar with Jaycin Campbell, but a young man going places, and we're delighted to have him as part of our team each and every week here on the Greyhound Jet Set. Wentworth Park will be his sweet spot, and we know that he's very, very capable there, but he does form all over the place. So he's the sort of fellow that I would expect to be finding us a few in his backyard, but also a few different places around the place as well, Shano. So JC won't be far away from joining us, and we're going to be having a look at this program Saturday night, Wenny Puck. It's a good card too. Gee, there's a few very nice chances going around on this particular program, and Jace will certainly isolate a few of those winners for us. While we're waiting, we might get your key plays for Saturday night, and I'll go through my thoughts, and then we can have Jace join us and go through his thoughts for a busy Saturday night there at Wendy Park.
Yeah, he's a very good judge, JC, and I've followed his tips. Shorty goes very well, so pleasure to have him on as part of our podcast moving forward. Wentworth Park Saturday night, Shorty, I found 2, race 8, number 8, Hooked on Fame. Very well boxed out there in the Ferry Floss, as we know. Last week's run was really good. I think it can burn down the outside. Still a march on him up the back. We've just got to watch the 4 will be flying home late. So 8-8 Hooked on Flame, my first play. And then over to race 9, number 2, Cumbria Kid, Shorty. I think this one looks the best of the night for me. Flying at the moment, drawn perfectly. It can't even lead in this race. But the 7 might be coming across early, but we hope he can hang on. So race 8, number 8, and race 9, number 2 for me at Wentworth Park.
8-8-9-2. So we go relatively deep into the program for Shano to get involved there on Saturday night. But it's an excellent card of chasing, and I'm sure that the punters will be looking to get right into it on Saturday night. Jaycin Campbell now joins us to have a look at this Saturday night Wentworth Park card. JC, great to have you on board. How do we find you on this Friday?
Yeah, can't complain, Shorty. How are you, mate?
Going really well. I got the train here as well.
Yeah, hey, JC, how are you, mate?
Very well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, going good. Glad to have you on the show, mate. You find plenty of winners for us on Great Greys, so really looking forward to you joining us each and every week.
Just try my best, Shane. Just try my best. Hopefully you can find some tomorrow night for the punters at Wentworth Park.
Certainly. We've got a 10-race card for the punters to roll up their sleeves and get involved with. Take us through your better bets on the program.
Yeah, I'm going to start off in race 3. Happy to play the stripes here, number 2, Tigalong Mate. He's been a grand campaigner for Connections. And he's been in great form without winning, having placed in 3 of his past 4 starts over this track and trip. He's likely to drop out of the contest early and head back to the rails. There's just no real lead pinger out wide here, so I think he'll get away with doing that. Lumber Puncture in box 1. He's a dog who's been running over the 400 metres at Bulleye and shown really good turn of speed, but he does like to use the track, so I think Tigalong Mate can get away with dropping out of the contest early and holding the rails and pretty much just running a drum for us. So bit of a spoiler alert, but he is my best value of the night.
Alrighty, race 3, number 2, Tigalong Mate, and the best value of the night there as well. On to the next of your plays.
Yeah, heading to race 5 now. Playing the red ruck here, number 1, Power of Cindy. So I just think the Lord Kennel here, she's just starting to get into her groove. She's had 10 starts for the 4 wins. She beat Overflow Jill here last week, running 29.87. There looks to be a good speed battle here with Golani and Overflow Jill. They're both capable of matching motors. And they do want to sort of, I guess, run off under pressure. And you got Fascinate Deborah in box 5 who can really carve across. So I think Power Cindy can find a really prominent position underneath that trio of runners and should be too strong late in the piece.
Alrighty, so getting involved there with race 5, number 1, Power of Cinder as the second of the key plays, and the third of them?
Race 6, number 4, still available. I want to take on August Bob here. I don't think he's very well drawn. Expecting him to open up favourite here. He's just got dogs either side of him that want to either duck in or duck out on him. And I'm going to play still available here. He's won his past 3 races, breaking 30 seconds in all of them. He has a slow beginner in Zipping Juvail directly outside him. So I think that's just got to give him the time and space he requires to hit top gear and find the front. And he should be hard enough to run down.
Okay, so race 3, number 2, Tigalong, getting involved there as the value, Tigalong Mate. Race 5, number 1, Paracinda. Race 6, number 4, in still available. Working through now, is there a best roughie on the program for the listeners?
Yeah, well, I think Tigalong Mate, obviously the markets haven't opened up yet, but judging off his SP profile and the runners in this race, I think he will probably open up each way odds, expecting him to open up around that $8 and probably $2.20 type mark, and I'm happy to dive into that for sure.
All righty. What about a quaddie?
Quaddie numbers for me, race 5, I'm playing the 1 and the 2. Race 6, playing 4 and 5. Race 7, going a bit wide here. I think it's a really difficult race, a lot of speed in it. 2, 3, 7 and 8. And the last leg of the quaddie, race 8, keeping it short, 4 and 6.
All right, in recap, 1, 2, leg 1, 4 and 5, leg 2, 2, 3, 7, 8, leg 3, home with 4 and 6. That will be costing you 2 twos of 4, 2s of 8, 4s, $32 for a full unit. If you're looking to get involved with Jaycin Campbell's quaddie there at Wentworth Park on Saturday night. Do you have a novelty bet or a rover for the weekend for the listeners?
Yeah, I'll just keep it with Tigalong Mates, race 3, number 2. I'm pretty much putting all my eggs in one basket, but I think he's just really well boxed here, and I really can't see him missing the frame.
Fair enough. Race 3, number 2 with Tigalong Mate there. And that leaves us with the very best of the weekend. JC, who are you going to light up? And
now,
so
JC, before you go any further, this is a competition that we take very serious. So it's bragging rights all over the town. So, mate, find us your very best at Wentworth Park.
Well, I've saved the best for last, and it is in the last race. Race 10, number 1, Foreign Capital. He is a Greyhound who's won 12 of his 22 starts, including 5 of 8 over this track and trip. This bloke, he is an absolute psychotic chaser. He pushes through needle-eye gaps to win races. I don't think he'll need to do that here. Walicha missed in box 2. She does like to step off the track early. So I think he's got to just really accelerate underneath runners and prove really hard to hold out and make it 3 from 3 from the red. Hopefully, if he opens up even money, I'll be very happy to dive into that. I think he's probably about $1.50 pop in this race.
Excellent. That is the 100 for this week. Locked in for our man, Jaycin Campbell. Race 10, number 1, Foreign Capital. We wait till late and we pounce in the last race on the program there. So this week, we've got next week, Corey Smith joining us. So he'll join the party. As of next week, we'll kick off. But for this week, we needed to get your best, and that'll be our little tester for this week. Race 10, number 1, Foreign Capital there at Wentworth Park. A couple of other dogs that I'll throw in for Saturday night there. I also like Foreign Capital in the last, but thought race 4, number 6, Finesse was in with good claims. A young greyhound that's going places on what I've seen to this point in time. Vacant box on its inside and has run some pretty slick times in its career to date there, JC.
Yeah, I didn't mind him in that race. I'm just a little bit concerned with the dog in box 7. It's Ken Begin, and he does like to use the track just a touch, but I have him on top. I just guess it's price dependent. I think judging off his recent form, he's probably got to open up close enough to even money, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to step in at that price.
Fair enough. And the other play that I've got as my rover of the night there, and it is a wonderful leg if you're looking to get involved as a place proposition and also rove through your plays, is race 7, number 1, Marvel Zombie. And this is a dog you'll hear me throw out as my rover most weeks at Wentworth Park when it races there, and there's a reason behind it. 47 career starts, this dog, 10 wins, 18 seconds, 9 thirds. That's 37 of 47. It's run top 3, and a lot of the 10 that it hasn't, it's run 4th. So it's one, if you like throwing dogs in that are place locks, and also for your trifectas and first 4s that just continue to run home for silver and bronze. Marvel Zombie is the dog for you. That's the other one I'll throw out there for a Saturday night at Wentworth Park on a roving capacity. JC, outstanding debut from you today here on the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set. At the start of some great things. We look forward to sharing a bit of your Friday with you each and every week heading forward. Many winners to you over the weekend, and of course our listeners that would like to follow more of your work, they can follow you on X, share your handle, and also tell us a little bit about the podcast you do with the team there at Wolf Den and where the punters can find that.
Yeah, well, we're just taking a little break now. Everyone at Wolf Den's a bit tired. They've pumped out a good 18 to 24 months in the gambling content space. So you can find it over on YouTube at Wolf Den. We're looking to kick back up for Nationals, so I can't wait for that. Hopefully look to start season 2 in about 3 weeks' time.
Excellent work. JC, appreciate your time. Have a ripper weekend. We'll catch you again next Friday on the Jet Set.
No worries. Thank you, Shorty, and Train, all the best.
All the best, mate.
All right, Shano, busy night of chasing at the Meadows on Saturday night as well. And worth noting for the punters, there is a lovely quaddie carryover races 5, 6, 7 and 8. Challenging races right through the quaddie legs as well, but 20,000 carrying over. It's a nice carrot to have a bit of a crack there on Saturday night. Now, our man Corey Smith from the Meadows will be joining us each and every week from next week, and we really look forward to him. Same as JC, he'll go through his key plays of the night, along with best roughie, quaddies, you name it. He'll be all over it. But in his absence, we'll always throw in our thoughts on the way through. And for this Saturday night at the Meadows, Shano, have you got a couple of plays that are worth having an eyeball on?
Yeah, I just thought race 7, number 1, Cruising Debbie, dog trained by Brendan Purcell. Shorty, 30 starts, 10 wins, 18 placings. Missed a check twice in its life. Unbelievable. Rolls forward, won the launching pad earlier in the year. And if you want to back a dog that's going to be out in front, she's the one, $6. Very hard to beat. Just touching on the features quickly, the Destiny Fireball. We also in Palawa King last week. Amazing run, but I just cannot catch the dog. It's going to get back, need plenty of luck again. I've found Aunt Virginia number 3, a dog that I've really had my eye on since she went up to Wentworth Park and run the hands off the clock in the Ladies Bracelet Series. She's run a few feature staying races at Sale and the likes of places like that. Very hard to beat. I thought we could save on Drill Sergeant, who can roll forward and set the pace here. Any trouble behind can be hard to beat. That's race 6, number 3 and number 2. And then over to the final of the night, the Maturity Classic. Always a good race, Shorty. A good dog always comes out of this race. I thought that box 1 is a big key here for Follow the Band, trained by the Gibbons. It's been lucky enough to draw its last 3 starts in a row. So I'm going to put that on top. I think we can save on one of your favourites, Ethanol Water. Get back, run on type of dog. I think they'll fight it out, Shorty, 1 and 5. So they're my 3 key plays at the Meadows on Saturday night.
Alrighty. Kicking things off for me, I've gone with 2 of my favourites. This is a litter that have been just phenomenal. The Ethanol litter, of course, by Droopy Sydney, the Star Irish stud dog, and Ethanol Extra is the rank outsider in the first leg of the quaddie here. I'll tell you what, though, there's a lot worse chances on the night that you'll see than this dog. And I note there has been support. It opened at 16. It's into 9.50 now, Ethanol Extra. Look, from box number 7, it's going to have to get it right. But it did come from box 6 last start at Sandown over the 595 metres. And on that occasion was a really nice winner. Prior form had all been good against some high-quality opposition. So, look, it's no moral, but at the big odds, I'm happy enough to spec a race 5, number 7, Ethanol Extra. Same as you in race 7 with number 1, Cruising Debbie. Just got to be an each-way bet to nothing here, you would have thought. The numbers tell the tale, and coming off a really impressive win last time out off the inside draw can give plenty of cheek. Race 7, number 1, Cruising Debbie. And race 8, number 5, Ethanol Water for me each way again. Just this dog's airborne at the moment. All sorts of boxes. Comes from ridiculous positions to put itself in finishes and often steamroll home over the top of some phenomenal fields. Love the way the dog's going and another each-way bet. So they're all each-way for me. Certainly not a chips-in night by any means, but I'm happy enough to have each-way bets on those 3 runners. Race 5, number 7, Ethanol Extra. Race 7, number 1, Cruising Debbie. And race 8, number 5, Ethanol Water. And as we touched on, make sure you're tuned in next week because our man Corey Smith from the Meadows will be with us here on the podcast, and he'll be sharing his expertise on the Saturday Night Meadows program week in, week out here on the Jet Set from next week. Time now for our VIP interview with our industry member of the week, and to kick things off, the very talented Kody Charles joins us on the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set. Welcome aboard, Kody Charles. How do we find you on this Friday?
Very well, thanks, Shorty and Shane. Thanks for having me on Jet Set. Good to be on board.
Yeah, we had to start at the top, get one of our favourite trainers of all time, Shorty, get him on our first Jet Set podcast. Cody, a treble last night at Northam. How good was that?
Yeah, no, really good, mate. The kennel's been going pretty good. I suppose probably the last 12 to 18 months, it's been a bit of a breakout season for myself and the kennel. So we're having a good run, and I was just having a bit of a flick through last night. I think I've won 16 of the last 50 runners. So if only it could happen like that all the time, it'd be nice. But certainly ride the crest of the wave while it's there.
Cody, your dog seems to fly at Northam. Do you go up and do a lot of work early in their careers? They seem to really love Northam.
Yeah, I've always had a bit of success up there, but I think I do definitely. I would never trial a dog around. Sorry, I would never race a dog around Norton without trialing. So we do a little bit of work there, but not over the top. That's for sure.
All right, well, let's have a look through some of your runners for the weekend upcoming. Tonight, off to Mandurah. Kenya Gulfstream's the first of them. Draws box 7 in a novice over the 400 metres.
He's a dog that can really run, but I actually don't think he's been at his best, but he's had a few sort of niggling injuries, and he's got a bit of a stopper that keeps sort of flaring up, and he's a sort of a week-to-week proposition. I think he's actually going to be better suited tonight. Out box 7 last week, he sort of didn't like being tightened up, and then when the run opened up, turned it behind me, he let down in the straight and got home really nice. So box 7 tonight is where he's actually won his only race from. I give him a good chance, probably one of my better chances for the night for sure.
Okay, later into the card we go to a heat of the shorts. Our Benson draws box 5. A dog that does have early pace to offset that, but it's a hot lineup.
Yeah, I think he's come up. He's a nice dog. He's one of the better dogs probably in the kennel. Drawn awkwardly and probably come up in the strongest heat. So I feel that he's certainly capable. His last couple of runs are probably just not quite where he needs to be. So I'm just sort of waiting for that turnaround. He had to freshen up. Just had the week off the week before and raced last week. So should be further improved tonight. Just needs to get that start right. And obviously I don't think we can beat the 1, but it'd be nice if we can qualify.
All right, on to race number 6, and Liptrix comes up with the inside draw here. There's been a bit of money around for Liptrix today as well to take out this race tonight. Opened up earlier on this morning at $7, now into $4.40. Any of your money?
No, none of my money. I'm a bit of a mug punter, Shorty. I seem to bet the next race to jump kind of thing so certainly not my money, but she's been a bit of a surprise package, really. She's great little chaser, always puts her best foot forward. She was a super run last week. I actually thought she held on last week, but the kennel mate knocked her off, and certainly well drawn in box 1 tonight. We fancy that Fred drawn 2, should get a bit of room early. Obviously, it's a rise in class for her, but I certainly think include her in your top 4 for sure. She'll run a good race.
All righty, and rounding out the night is Rare Speed in race number 9. It's not a bad free-for-all. Jimmy's Jet, Brain Teaser all over Carly, Solid Tank, Vaucluse, Bale. Rare Speed is a dog, though, that's capable of running the time to win a race like this.
Yeah, correct. It is a hot race, though. I think she's going to find it tough. There's so much early pace in the race, so not really sure where she's going to find. But she was a good win last week and resumed with a 300-metre run, which was a good run. So be thereabouts, but I think it looks tough.
All right, let's switch focus to the Kennel Star. Saturday night, Mandurah, the national sprint champion Sage Tennille returns to WA off 2 cracking runs up there at Albion Park, taking on the best stayers in Australia. I thought she was brave in both of those performances. Prior to that, she smashed the track record here at Mandurah over the 652 metres from this very box. Can she do something similar on Saturday night?
Certainly capable, Shorty. She seems to have got her mojo back. She seems to want to be there at the moment. We lost her for quite a number of starts, and her career was up in the air with what to do. But she seems to have got it back online, and she's racing super. So she's certainly capable of obviously winning that race if she can put it all together. Box 6, obviously, she never had a great strike rate from out wide, but only small field. She should put herself right into it. We trialled her on Monday night. She went really good on Monday night just to give her a run, give her a blowout before this weekend. And she really is going as good as she's ever gone, really. Probably better than what she was going when she actually won the Nationals, I believe. So couldn't have her any better. If she can do what she can do, then she should win.
Kody, I've got to say, I'll be totally honest, and I won't be the only person that says this, but yeah, she was gone 3 or 4 months ago, wasn't she? What have you done to turn her around? I know when she started drawing inside boxes, she started to get a little bit more luck, and that sort of helped her on her way to get back. But yeah, you've got her absolutely flying. To break a track record in a heat and then back it up and re-break it in the final, that's no mean feat, mate.
Yeah, no, thanks for that, Shane. Obviously, she certainly fried my brain. She was always sort of trialling pretty well, but what I actually did was I actually took her off the pill, and it took a couple of weeks, I think, to sort of just clear out. Really, she didn't really, she didn't drop into another gear straight away. A couple of weeks to sort of work out, and then away she went. So hopefully she stays off season though, with her being off the pill. So, but no, that seems to be the key with her. So we'll stick at it, and hopefully she can keep performing well.
Yeah, two-part question now. Obviously, she's come back from Brisbane, pulled up well, and is the main aim to go up to Northern and try and represent WA in the distance nationals?
Yeah, that would be a dream, Shane, obviously, to be able to do that. I did come home, actually, from Queensland, scratching my head a little bit with which way to go with her, because her probably ideal distance is probably like the Mandurah 652. The 700 seems to really be that last sort of 50 metres really seems to pull her up, unfortunately. So, and I don't really know why, because she's such a clean-winded dog. She doesn't cramp, hardly blows the candle out even after that. So I really thought that she would get it, but I felt her heat was probably better than her final run in Brisbane. So I'm unsure whether if she just keeps going 700, she's going to get stronger, or she's just you're going to take the edge off her. So we've sort of just come back, but I think you're better off to try and put her in a race, which is a one-off final, and hopefully she can sort of find herself up towards the lead in the race, rather than, she's going to be back near last over 500 and you're sort of screaming for luck through the first turn. So, yeah, we'll just stick to the 700 and push on in that direction.
All right, mate, before we get on to these 10 questions, we're having a little competition from our guest tipsters every week, and we want to know the very best of your kennel over Friday and Saturday night. And we're going to run it as a tournament, $100 on, and at the end of the year we'll tally up and I'll be winning, but see if the guest tipsters can run second.
I guess I'm not going to be anything fancy. I'm going to give you my best chance, so it'd have to be Sage Steele and $1.80, so nothing to get excited about there.
Beats losing, and it's one that I'll be cheering very hard for there on Saturday night, Kody. And just echoing Shano's thoughts there to yourself and Brittany. Speaking to you guys out trackside around Perth Cup time when you were there, and having a chat to Steve and Kira Withers and the Harders after they'd had success with Uncle Tommy, and at that stage you're really racking your brain with Sage Steele, and I know how much she's meant to you guys on the way through. This is just a credit to you both for the work and energy that you've put into her. There would have been so many people that would have been happy to just pull the stumps and send her off. She's going to be a very valuable brood bitch regardless of what had happened from that point on as a national sprint champ. But to see her now return with the confidence and racing at the level she is, it is a credit, as Shane touched on. And I'm delighted for yourself and Brittany. I know how much she's meant to you, and to see her now back there firing on all cylinders, it'd be great to see her go and represent WA again, and fingers crossed that can all happen for you. Just quickly though, before we move on to some other questions, you've got a great entry point to greyhound racing. We've of course all so envious of the great man Dave Simonetti and what he's done in greyhound racing, and your first introduction to greyhound racing is a great yarn. Tell us a little bit about a letter that you sent through to Dave Simo and what it led to all those years ago.
Yeah, so that's where it all kicked off. I think I don't really know how old I was. I was probably about year 5. I was never great at school, but I had a mate that used to go to school, Sean Barrett, and he used to help out a bloke called Phil Evans. So Sean used to bring in the race books into class, and instead of doing my schoolwork, I would sit there and colour in all the box colours. So that's sort of where the love started for racing, and I also had racing in my blood. I then decided I was following a dog at the time. It was a greyhound called Jamali Park. She was a wonderful chaser, and I wrote a letter to the greyhounds, to Simo, and I drew a picture of Jamali Park down the bottom of the page, and Simo responded back to me and invited myself and my family to come along to the Checkers restaurant, and we had dinner with him, and he gave me a bundle of stuff and a video training winners, and sort of suggested that a couple of people in the local area was a bloke called Mike Bate and John Rigetti. So he sort of asked if I wanted to go and get introduced to one of them, and I chose Mike Bate, which obviously he was mixed up with Jody and Keith Harding, and had obviously Jamali Park, and that's sort of where it all started. I used to go help Mike Bate on weekends, and I had a wonderful introduction to greyhound racing. Mike was a great breeder, great rearer, and they had a great obviously partnership with Keith and Jody, and their results were phenomenal. So certainly had a good start into the industry and was pointed in the right direction by Simo, and I'll always be grateful for that. And obviously caught up with Mike actually at the Greyhound of the Year this year, which was wonderful to see Mike and Anne there. So it was great.
Yeah, they're looking well too. It was a special night. It's great to see so many old faces there on that occasion. From that letter, night at the track, and now you're, of course, one of the top trainers here in WA, and you're also heavily involved with your family in harness racing. You do a wonderful job juggling both of those things. Of course, Brittany breeds the cutest mini dashhounds in the world that we see a lot on Facebook as well. So you're very much an animal family.
Yeah, we certainly are. So, yeah, any dashhound lovers out there, jump on Facebook or give the business a plug and give Britco Mini Dashhounds a Facebook like. There's a few pups there that are for sale. So the more we can sell, the more we can punch, Shorty.
Beautiful. Well, my wife's been driving me mad to get one, and my boys are working hard at that as well. So I'll keep them away from you guys, or I'll find out with one of those cute dogs running around my house very soon, I'd suggest. But it's great, and you're incredibly that's just the way that you do that. Plus, one of your young fellas is heavily involved in the junior motocross as well. How do you find all the hours in the week?
Yeah, no, there's certainly not enough hours in a week at all. But no, Kobe's obviously, he races the outlaw go-karts. I've always had a bit of a love for speedway outside of racing. You obviously don't find a lot of time to go there. And but with Kobe racing, we try and get up there as much as we can. Obviously, it normally falls on a Friday or Saturday night, sort of your two main nights of racing, which makes it a bit difficult. But no, he's done extremely well at that. He's been lucky enough to win the state title this year and last year in his first two seasons in his age division. So he's certainly kicking a goal there. He's going very well. So, everything's going very well.
Do you ever jump in the cart and take him on?
I wouldn't fit in there, Shorty, unfortunately.
Excellent. All right then. So let's. We've had a good look about everything, how you got in, and how it's all going, and it's absolutely deluxe. But now we need to go a little deeper and find out a little bit more about Kody Charles. Now, Shano, each and every week, our VIP, a local industry member, will face the blowtorch as applied by the Shayne Williams. He's come up with 10 cracking questions. Kody, are you ready?
Let's hit the burning questions.
Go, Train.
Kody, you walk into a bar, what are you ordering to drink? And don't say cola beer.
I'd probably, you'd probably expect me to say a UDL, Jumbo, but if it wasn't a UDL, I'd probably say Southern Comfort and Coke.
Dear, Shorty.
Well, I've always wondered who the person was that drank that particular liquor. Now I know it's Kody Charles.
Question
Not
2.
a big drinker, though, Shorty, but it's something that I think it was Jim Beam back in the days. But when you're a young fella and you're having chunder, it certainly puts you off it. So I sort of only really probably a social drinker, really. But sometimes when I'm around you boys, I'll have a little drink. But certainly nothing too excessive. If not, the go-to definitely cola beer.
He is a bad influence, though. The Train. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, the last couple of weeks he's had me sinking a couple of UDLs at Northland, so yeah, certainly points me in the wrong direction, Shane.
Kody, question 2. Where are you taking your lovely wife, Brittany, on a romantic dinner, be it an anniversary or whatever? Where are you taking her out for dinner? A nice restaurant?
Probably, she's a victim like me, so I'd probably say she would be more than happy to go to the casino, into any of those lovely restaurants up there. Obviously the buffet or the, I think it's a French place. I can't say the name of it, but at the casino, she likes that.
Guillaume.
Yep, yeah, and then after that we have dinner. She'd probably go one way and I'd go the other way. She'd go to the pokies and I'd go to the roulette poker.
And I've seen that happen.
Classic.
And she would be over the moon with that.
Excellent.
Yeah. Funniest person in our industry, Kody?
Shayne Williams.
Oh, that's going to be a popular answer, Shorty.
Just get that trumpet out, boys.
Favourite dog you've trained, Kody? Doesn't have to be the best. The favourite dog you've trained?
Obviously, Sage Tennille is probably an obvious one. She's very obviously sentimental, even with her name and obviously what she's done for us. But a dog that I had, 2 dogs probably that have really touched my heart, was a dog called Speedy Schooner, only a 400-metre dog, but he was a great dog and I kept him as a pet, and another dog called Rock Dynamite.
Okay, favourite dog of all time? Something you've been lucky with on the punt?
Favourite dog of all time?
You might have mentioned Jamali Park. Was that too early?
Yeah, probably. I still remember a lot of those old dogs, Jamali Park. tribute to Dad, Prince of Tigers. That's sort of back to sort of where it started. But I'd probably have to say Miata was probably one of the favourite dogs to see what she did for WA, and obviously track record holder over 3 different distances. I think she was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, good choice. Listen, this next one, you might not have one, but you might be able to throw Brittany under the bus. Most embarrassing moment.
You actually stunned me there. I've had plenty, but yeah, I can throw Brittany under the bus then, because I'm sure. Oh no, I've actually got one actually. When I first met Brittany, her and her brothers came over to our farm, and there was a little pony in the paddock, and I said to her brother, he was patting, and I said, jump on him, and he said, I'm not jumping on him. I said, jump on him. He's a 10-hand Shetland pony. He's going to do nothing. So you do it. So, of course, I run up there and pretty much leapfrog onto him. He takes off, double barrels me, straight in the knackers.
Yeah, I've seen that video.
It's been floating around on Facebook. You can hear the bang. But fortunately enough, I've still been a successful sire after that.
You're gonna have to throw Brittany under the bus as well. It's a great story for her.
Yeah, and then Brittany obviously living on a farm and sort of a longish driveway. We always chuck the wheelie bin on the back of the tow ball. So obviously when Brittany's heading off to school with 3 kids that not doing what they're told, you lose concentration pretty quick. And on 2 occasions now, she's loaded the kids into the car, whacked the bin onto the back of the tow ball. I've half followed her out of the driveway, and then she's failed to stop, I suppose you could say, and continued on down the road. And I'm having a giggle, so you pull the phone out, and then 5 minutes later, Brittany's realised what's happened. She comes back home with this wheelie bin on there with no wheels, dragging on there. And that's happened on 2 occasions now, so that's always a good moment to share on Facebook when it comes up. Never fail to share that memory.
What's it cost to replace a wheelie bin?
I'm not sure, actually, but Tim Mullaney actually gave us a couple as a bit of a wedding present for Brittany. So we've actually got a new car and it hasn't got a tow ball on it, so I can see why Brittany hasn't been pushing to get the tow ball on it. She can avoid that incident happening for a 3rd time.
It never gets old. It's always shared on Facebook, memories, Shorty, and it gives me a good laugh every 12 months. Biggest win, Kody? I think we know this one.
Yeah, obviously the Nationals, but obviously my first sort of good win was a dog called Cabargo. That was pretty special. Obviously, winning the Oaks at Cannington. She was a good dog that, in the end, wanted to go into the catching pen, but that was during a tough time. That was during COVID, so that was a hard night because no one was allowed to go to the track, and it was sort of my first real feature. So that obviously that win will always have a special place in my heart. But obviously to go to Melbourne and first ever crack at a Group 1 and win at the Meadows was something that would be very hard to top.
It was a good party too.
There was plenty of action at the Oaks party for sure.
Yeah, hobbies outside of racing now. You're not a golfer, Shorty. I've got to tell you a quick funny story. Kody, I feel sorry for him, so I get him out on the golf course every now and then, and I partner up with him. He said to me one time, about 6 months ago, the last time he played, I've been practicing. He pulled the clubs out of the car. They had cobwebs all over them.
Maybe he's been on that Wii. You can practice now on Nintendo without having the clubs out, maybe, Shano.
Maybe.
Yeah. The boys go golfing a bit, and I don't seem to go. I'm not much good at it, so I try not to embarrass myself. But always happy to go into the golf punting competitions that we do. And off the score update the boys sent this morning, we're struggling in that as well. Yeah.
So, what are your hobbies outside of racing, anyway?
Yeah. So, I guess I'm into my outdoor thing. So I've got a hobby for obviously speedway. Love obviously anything racing, anything you can punt on or I have an interest in. And then just, I suppose, like agriculture. I love like animals, and we go feed cattle and stuff like that. So anything to do with outdoor stuff or even getting out on the boat is always a good thing.
Yeah, favourite track doesn't have to be WA.
I'd probably say I'm probably going to say the Meadows, even though I won there, but I just think it's a great setup over there. Meadows and Sandown we're great to race at.
Yep. And the last one, Kody, 3 people choose in our industry that you would like to be stuck on a deserted island with.
Seen you eat, Shane, so you ain't coming.
Thanks. Whack.
3 people that I'd like to be stuck with. You've stumped me there. I guess.
Well, you're taking your mate Tim because he can catch fish and whatever.
Yeah, Tim. Oh, no, I don't know if Tim can catch. He says he can, but he took me out in Karratha, and although he did catch a few, but we didn't catch too many. He told me he would catch 100 coral trout a day up there, and we didn't get any. So, but no, Tim's been obviously a great mate of mine for many years. So, Tim can come along, and I know he'd always have me back. And just I don't really want to label anyone. I don't really know.
All right, we'll leave it at one. Just you and Tim stuck in the desert island.
Me and Timmy, that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Well, someone with a boat would probably be good. That way you might be able to get off the island.
Yeah, that would be handy. So me and Tim would be fighting over the last of the battery charge so we can have a punt each.
Don't know if they'd have Sky on the deserted island, but hey, logistics aren't a big deal. Anything else, Shane-o?
Nah, it's good. Thanks for all the questions, Kody, and good luck over the weekend and all the best with Sage Stenil moving forward to the Nationals.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Thanks for having me on, and good luck with the new show. I'm sure it's going to go gangbusters, and 2 good blokes that'll great for the industry. So yeah, thanks for your time.
Cheers, Kody. Big thanks to Kody Charles for joining us here on the Jet Set on this Friday afternoon. Let's get into our kennel mail. A big thanks to the Credelli brothers. Both Graham and Damien will be sharing the thoughts of their kennel runners each and every week with us here. Starting off with Graham for this weekend. Tonight, race 1, number 1, Fennec Fox. Not blessed with a lot of ability, but has the box to run a nice race here. Should finish top 2 in this and is her best chance for a win for some time. Then on to race 7. They've got 2 in that race. Box 1, Terra County. Box 4, What a Ripper. The 4-dog is a great chance if he gets room early, but might not get that. So I'm leaning to Terra County off the red, especially for a place. She'll need this run as she's coming off a small let-up, but did trial 17 flat over 300 on Monday and will definitely improve on her first start over this trip. Box 1's a massive boost, so Terra County the place. And then race 7, number 2, Saturday Night Mandra, Vander Harley. Loving this distance, and you can't leave her out. Has the speed to lead, and if there is trouble behind, might just sneak away with the win again. So big thanks to Graham, and good luck to Enzo as well with their runners on the weekend. Brother Damien for this weekend. G'day, boys. Friday, race 7, number 2, West on Miley. I can't fault her of late. She has been running against city class and open class heats and finals. She's been leading and running some quick sections. If she gets the jump, she's strong over the 400. The 1 likes the fence, and the 3 and 4 don't step quickly, so she should have room to muster each way, bet and ride in it. Race 8, number 7, Dark Lightning the place. I feel he prefers the room outside. The 8 will go straight, so shouldn't be hampered by her. The 5 wants the fence. The 1 and 2 want out. There will be some squeezing early. Looks like a race made for the outside dogs here if they can avoid early traffic. And race 9, number 1, Brain Teaser. Loves the rail, rarely misses the kick twice in a row. Needs a shepherd from the 5 coming across, and if can pinch a break on that dog, should go very close. On Saturday, race 5, Go Seek Francine each way. Very strong and capable of running quick times. If she can follow the 7 across and get into a prominent position early, she will be in the finish. That is Saturday night there for Damien with Go Seek Francine, which is a Greyhound number 8. And then on Sunday, race 5, number 2, Tarzan. Was trialling good before his return to racing last week. Went really well after missing the kick. Loves the rail, and if he can settle a little closer, he'll be very strong late. Wouldn't usually tip against my 5-dog Social Equity, and she was trialling really quick, but she hates dogs on her outside, so might not get a clear run. If she leads clearly, though, would expect a 22.30 to 22.40 run, so keep her safe. Race 8, number 8, Respect Advocacy. Loves room wide and has gears once he hits the ground. Very strong, and a win is likely from there. We'll label it as the best day. Race 8, number 8, Respect Advocacy on Sunday for our man Damien Credelli. Good luck, and thank you, Damo, for sharing your thoughts with your kennel runners of note this weekend. And we'll round it out with the little man we nickname Dennis Danuto, Lukey Townsend. Great to have him on board with the house mail for this weekend. I must say, on our previous podcast, this young man was running hot for this weekend. He's come up with tonight at Mandurah, race 4, number 5, West on Madge. That's tonight, Mandurah, race 4, number 8, West on Madge, as this special for Friday night. On Saturday night, race 5, number 1, West on Kaiser. And if you want, you can add my best roughie, which is tonight, race 5, West on Boomer. which is Greyhound number 7. Race 5, number 7, West On Boomer. Might be worth a little spec bet there at very big odds for this weekend. Shayne, that leaves you as our last leg of the Kennel Mail. What's the pick of the Shayne Train Kennel for this upcoming weekend?
Yeah, I think we'll just narrow it down to Rip and Moses on Saturday night at Mandurah Shorty, race 4, box 6. Nice young dog, going through the grades well. I think he's going to be a dog that runs a lot of placings if he doesn't win, so he's going to be thereabouts, so we can probably play him each way on Saturday night, Shorty.
All right, Ripper Moses to run 1-2 there. A big thanks to all of our contributors for the Kennel Mail. You'll hear from them week in, week out here on the Jet Set. Moving on now to our best roughie of leftovers. Have you got anything? I've got a leftover, my racing multi, which I'll share for our listeners on the Gallops. Rose Hill, race 1, number 2, Marjude. Race 9, number 3, Rose Hill, Chorlton Lane. And at Flemington, race 8, number 6, Cadmus. So race 1, number 2, Rose Hill. Race 9, number 3, Rose Hill, race 8, number 6, Cadmus at Flemington, $17.44 for that multi. I'll be taking the doubles, I'll be taking the treble and the all-up place with those 3 this weekend. Train, anything out wide?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Geelong tonight, Shorty. A dog resuming from a spell, Son of Bernardo, race 8, number 4, Past the Buck, trained by Anthony Azzopardi. 17 starts, 11 wins, 4 from box 4. Very hard to beat if he's on song, Shorty. Got a couple of quick horse tips for tomorrow. I'm going to try and get Grant Alana's best for the weekend moving forward. Obviously, big affiliation there with the stable, but I do like their horse tomorrow at Belmont, race 7, number 6, Patricia. And I'm going to roll that into Rose Hill, race 6, number 9, In Front, trained by our main man, Joey Pride, Shorty.
Very nice indeed. Yeah, let's hope Joey has a big day there tomorrow. All right, moving on now. Best roughie of the weekend. Have you got something at odds that we can get around this weekend, Shayne?
I think this one just classifies, Shorty. It's $10. It's not a winning machine. Race 8 tonight at Mandurah, number 5. Mongolian Tiger was very good last week leading up, and only got the Paul Stewart dog Mortality only got it late. So that's not a winning machine, but I think if it can reproduce last week's run, find the lead, there's no mortality in this.
All right, fair enough. For me, we'll go with Ethanol Extra at the Meadows, double figs there. Or just, it certainly qualifies. It was 16 when I put it together, so it can be my roughie for this weekend. Race 5, number 7, the Meadows on Saturday night. Moving on to our quaddie plays for this weekend. Now, what we'll do here is Corey will come up with a Meadows quaddie each week. Of course, JC will come up with Wentworth Park. I'll do Mandurah on a Friday night, and Train can do Saturday night when we get back to Cannington. And also now for me tonight there at Mandurah, not an easy quaddie to manufacture. First leg numbers 1, 4 and 8. Second leg numbers 1, 3, 4 and 6. Third leg numbers 3, 4, 5 and 7. And in the final leg numbers 1, 2, 5, 6 and 7. That's 1, 4, 8, 1, 3, 4, 6, 3, 4, 5, 7, 1, 2, 5, 6 and 7. That's $2.40 for a full unit. You can play multis. $12 will get you 5% if you want to have a little play at that tonight. How about your good self for Mandurah Saturday night?
Yeah, Mandurah Saturday night, Shorty quaddie. First leg 1, 3, 6, 7. Second leg 7 and 8. Third leg 1, 2, 6 and 8. And the final leg 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. That's $160 for a unit.
Alrighty, $160 for a full unit there, the quaddie on Saturday night for the Shayne Train Williams. Best novelty bets or rover of the weekend? Anything come to mind here?
Yeah, absolutely. Lock race 8, number 2 on Saturday night at Mandurah. Pudding Manelli. Loves running a place, doesn't like winning.
That's a very good point you raise there. Race 8, number 2, Pudding Manelli looks a wonderful roving play, and I'll go to Marvel Zombie. That's the dog that's been very good to me and will continue to do so. Those stats don't lie. Wentworth Park on Saturday night. Race 7, number 1, Marvel Zombie, my roving banker play of the weekend. And that only leaves us now with our very best of the weekend. Now, if you're just joining us late on the podcast, we've had Kody giving us his very best from the kennel, which counts for him as Sage to Neil. And we also, earlier in the program, caught up with Jaycin Campbell, and race 10, number 1 at Wentworth Park on Saturday night was his very best of the weekend. And we certainly thank him for his work earlier on the podcast today. It was Foreign Capital, race 10, number 1, his very best. What about your good self, Train? What are you doing for the very best for the upcoming weekend for the punters?
Yeah, the very best, Shorty. I'm going to have a little 2-leg multi. We will roll Race 11, number 1 at Mandurah tonight, Mortality, a win. Into tomorrow night, Mandurah race 8, number 2, Pudding Manelli, a place. I'm just going to have the 100 on that, Shorty, and that'll roll me to the front.
All right, race 11, number 1, Mortality, the win tonight. Race 8, number 2, Pudding Manelli, the place on a Saturday night. I'm teaming up with Kody as the best bet of the weekend, being Sage to Kneel there on Saturday night at Mandurah. I'll go ethanol water to run a place into that.
In maturity,
in the main race at the Meadows on Saturday night. So that's race 8, number 5, the Meadows, Saturday night, ethanol water, the place, into Sage to Kneel, the win, which is race 2, number 6, Saturday night there at Mandurah. You roll those two together, be getting guts of about $3.60 on the multi as we speak. Now, Shayno, before we close out the program, any shout-outs? Anybody you want to send some love to on this Friday afternoon?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Pete and Richard, the team at Rawa, for letting us do this podcast, Shorty. It's been fun. It's only going to get better. And also yourself for putting it together in a short space of time. It's been very fun, and we're going to get better as we go along. And I really appreciate your effort putting it all together on a quick back up.
Very kind of you to say so. Train, it's been wonderful spending part of my Friday with your good self and all of our listeners. And what we want to do, as we've done with all of the podcasts that I've been involved with over the last 4 or 5 years, and most of them had really good followings, is build a great community. We want everybody to feel part of this family with us here on the Big Bird, the Jet Set. We'll join you each and every Friday. Make it part of your Friday routine to catch up with us for an hour. We'll make it as easy as we can for you to do all the form and help you find some winners. If you love a punt, this is the way to do it. You can do it 3 hours on a Friday night, Mandurah, and then Saturday night, it's just absolutely gorgeous. From 4 o'clock through till 10 o'clock, we've got tips for you right throughout the course of your Saturday night if you love a punt on the dogs. And we're getting information here that you don't get anywhere else. This kennel mail, insights, and also great stories. I love the chat with Kody today, the opportunity to really showcase and get to know our local industry. It's a big part of what the Jet Set will be all about. So join our community and become a part of it. For this week, we will be joining the Sports Daily spot when it comes to the website and the like, but long term, we will have our own slot when it comes to Spotify and the like, and you'll be able to find all of our podcasts for the Jet Set heading forward on there. Now, for me, always will hopefully get everyone having a bit of a chuckle to round out the week. And this week, Train, a married woman entered a pharmacy, walked to the pharmacist, looked straight into his eyes and said, "I would like to buy fast-killing poison for humans." The bewildered pharmacist asked, "Why? What for?" The lady replied, "I need it to poison my husband." The pharmacist shouted, "Lord have mercy, it's against the law." "It's a sin, absolutely not," shouted the lady. She reached into her bag and pulled out a picture of her husband in bed with the pharmacist's wife. The pharmacist looked at the picture and screamed, "Why didn't you tell me you had a prescription?" Oh, he was happy to sign off on that when he found out that his wife hadn't been overly faithful. But hopefully that's helped to put a smile on your dial on this Friday afternoon. Appreciate your company here on the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set. That is our first episode done and dusted. Be sure to join us again next Friday afternoon for episode 2 of the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set.